Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.
God, is that light above my head a bit irritating?
No, I can see you, so that's the main thing.
All right. Go on, let's do it, man. Do it.
This is AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. It's middle of fight week for Conor Benn, joined by Johhny Nelson. Looking forward to Conor Benn back in the ring this Saturday night on Sky Sports.
Always. Conor Benn, he's always excited me. He's that kind of fighter, that fighter that just does it for me.
See, he's got a couple of heavyweight fights on the card as well. Before we talk about that, let's talk about the heavyweight division. We've talked about Deontay Wilder's comments that he made a couple of weeks ago, the video he posted. He's now come out again. And I showed you the comments he made recently about Dillian Whyte. He says, I want Dillian Whyte, I want Dillian Whyte, and I want Dillian Whyte. The dude's obsessed with me. He acts like we had a bad breakup and he can't get over me. I'm the man that he want to be.
You also said something about something must have felt sweet. Yeah, I saw the interview. So I think everybody's commented is kind of a universal choir, more or less what most have said. I looked at what Deontay said. Maybe he's had a massive reality check and thought, shit, I have lost a lot of money. Because that third fight with Tyson Fury would have made me millions. So now he realizes he's in the who needs him club. Nobody needs him because he's not a mandatory challenger. He's not a contender. He's not a title holder. So why on earth would anybody want to get in with him? Because he's the biggest punching heavyweight out there. And I agree with him. He took on fights that he thinks nobody else would take on. I actually respect him taking on the Ortiz fight. He's too dangerous. So now all of a sudden he's shouting out Dillian Whyte. Whereas before, he said to Dillian Whyte, you do this, and run through this hoop, that hoop, I might give you a shot. Otherwise, he completely blanked him. Now, he's shouting at Dillian Whyte. So if he truly believes that can happen, I'm quite sure Dillian Whyte will give him what he wants because he's seen Dillian Whyte get turned over against Povetkin. He's thinking, I'll take that boy there. You know, so that's what he's doing. So he's got to shout on many as he wants, but he's in fear of being shut out. Because fighters would prefer not to fight him and carry on their quest to become a world champion. Not that they have to fight him. I'm quite sure the promoters and the TV companies, some of the accusations and things he said, this guy is, you know, he answers to nobody as far as he's concerned. He's the boss. He's the king. So he's in fear of locking himself out. So now his way in is Dillian Whyte. Not sure why it's not Povetkin because Povetkin beat Dillian Whyte, but it's Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte shouted him out, and Dillian Whyte's as raw as he is, you know. So no matter what intimidating tactics you come out with or he comes out with, Dillian Whyte can match that tenfold. And Dillian Whyte, we know, looking at the people that Dillian Whyte's picked to fight, that Dillian Whyte would be up for that in a heartbeat, and it's a great shout. But again, you got to look at the business side, the brain side, and you know, certain people say we don't need him. Shut him out, quiet him down. He's a millionaire. You don't need him. But this is then about Dillian's pride, ego, and would Dillian say, you know what, you had your chance. Now you're begging me. I'm ignoring you. That's what he could do.
Yeah, is he doing this because if you look at Frank Warren and Fury's side, it's like we don't need you. Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua saying we don't need you. So he's freezed out Eddie and he's freezed out Frank. So we don't need you.
That's what I'm saying. He's freezed them out. He's freezed them out, and they've like thinking, we now don't have to deal with you. And I'm assuming even his American counterparts are thinking, man, because even after that interview, I'm sure the interviewer said something to the words like this guy's like delusional in some of the things he said, which surprised me, him saying that afterwards. But he's not, and that's why I said I'd be surprised if he's seen fighting again, unless Deontay Wilder puts his own show on and pays the fighter to fight him. I will be surprised because people think, I don't want to fight you. I don't have to fight you. You're too dangerous. And that's credit where credit's due. So, but he's put himself in a position where he's shut his own door and thrown away his own key.
Mm. Well, I don't know if we'll ever see Wilder v White, but it's a brilliant fight, that, actually, when you think about it.
Yeah, it is. Of course, it's a good fight. It's a really good fight. And so it's a case of Dillian Whyte's in touching distance of we hope, we've said this many times, a fight for the world title. What bragging rights will he get from beating Deontay Wilder, former world heavyweight champion? But Tyson Fury's already turned him over twice, one officially and unofficially.
Still a big name, though, Wilder. You can beat him.
Pardon?
Still a big name if you can beat Wilder.
It's a big name. It's a big name. And and so to me, I just think it's thinking about the character of Dillian. And Dillian's character, I could see him going for it. His character, I'm thinking, I can see him thinking, I'm having this. And the brains behind him say, yo, we don't need this. Cut him out, block him off. So it's just time will tell.
What did you make of the news yesterday as well, Johhny, regarding the official announcement of Canelo Alvarez v Callum Smith for the end of the year?
Yeah, so to me, I thought, wow, I was surprised because I know a few names are thrown out up there and people just were just not sure. And then in doing that, you know, people have. I didn't think it'd be Callum. I didn't think it'd be a Brit. And then Callum gets a shout, and Callum's just been ticking over, hoping and waiting. Billy Joe Saunders said, "Look, tell me now and give me time. Otherwise, I'm not dancing to your tune." Callum danced to a tune, and I'm quite sure he and Joe will devise a game plan that will bring the best out of Callum Smith, and we will either see an unbelievable performance from Callum Smith. This is the time he's got to grow up and be the fully fledged fighter. Because I always look at him and think there's so much more for this guy coming through. You can see as in Callum, you can see the potential. He's not even the finished article. That night he needs to be the finished article. Everything needs to go right.
Look forward to that fight. Yeah, just on this week as well. Conor Benn, as I said, headlines and a step up, and then you've got two interesting heavyweight fights. You've got Alan Babic, the Savage, who I'm sure you've been impressed by so far, goes up against Tom Little, who's in tremendous shape, and you've got Fabio Wardley taking on Richard Lartey. So two interesting little heavyweight fights there. Yeah,
they are. These heavyweights aren't even big heavyweights, are they? As in the not in the visitors' corner, the home corner. They're not even big heavyweights. These guys can make cruiserweight. So it should be exciting. I think it should be interesting. It's a chance for Wardley and Babic to get some exposure and try and steal the limelight from this young Conor Benn who's topping the bill. It's intriguing. I think it's a good match. It's a good night. It's a good night of fight and a good entertaining night of fight because you've got hungry fighters that are not nailed on to win, but they're going to go in there and give it their all.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.